What's up, everybody? It's Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin on the show. What's up, Dustin?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me once again.
Yeah, it's good to have you back on. And the season is finally here. Week one, hell of a week of football. So much good action. Um, just a great week of football. I mean, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. I was watching football the entire weekend. I wasn't going anywhere. What about you? Do you catch a lot of football this weekend?
Man, I caught so much football. That's
It's
all I can think about.
a good feeling, isn't it? Like it's finally here and it's finally happening right in front of our eyes.
Yep, and to be honest, it's actually no different without the fans.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the places like you got to see Cold Strings where there was some fans, and I like it when Denver had a little bit of fans there. And I hope that the more we go into the season, the more we'll be allowed to have fans at stadiums because there's no replacing the best fans in the world, the NFL fans. But even the games that didn't have fans, the fake crowd noise, the action on the field, it kind of distracted us from the current situation in the world.
Yeah, which I just want to thank everybody in the league for, agreeing to play and
Yep.
getting our minds off of what's going on in the world right now and actually playing hard.
Oh
Teams play
yeah.
hard out there, man.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like a lot of people were questioning how good tackling was going to be with no preseason and all that. And from what I saw, everyone was bringing it. There was some hard hits. There was some great football being played. So let's get into this one, Dustin. This is going to be the Bucs at Saints game breakdown. The Tom Brady's debut in a Tampa Bay Bucs uniform, the GOAT. First of all, how did Tom Brady look in that Bucs uniform to you? Did it look weird, or did you get accustomed to it pretty quickly?
I mean, it's not the Patriots uniform, so obviously it'll still take you off by surprise.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've seen so much video of him practicing
Yep.
in the Bucs jersey, so it really wasn't no difference to me.
You like those jerseys? You like them going kind of old school, bringing back the pewter and the old school Bucs jerseys?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just need Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott out there to complete the picture.
Oh, yeah. Brady had those two, it'd be a different story.
Yep. So, all right. The big question going into this game was Tampa Bay's star wide receiver Mike Evans playing despite being questionable with a hamstring. So that's a bit of a blow. But I think we all expected Tampa Bay's got so many weapons with Gronk and Chris Godwin and all those running backs, O.J. Howard, that Brady would be able to get along just fine. If Evans didn't play, he did end up starting and playing the entire game. Some great matchups to watch in this game on the perimeter with wide receiver 1 versus corner 1 on both sides of the ball, both teams. You got Mike Evans against Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas versus Carlton Davis. What do you think of these Ohio State kids, Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas? They've come in the NFL and been pretty damn good.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore, I think they were saying that he could have been one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and obviously Michael Thomas is the best receiver in the league when healthy.
Man, he's ridiculous. What did he catch last year? Like 150 passes. And his catch percentage rating when the ball is thrown his way is like 80%. It's unreal.
Yeah, he's just nasty.
But I like Carlton Davis, Bucs' number 1 corner, and I felt like he got a couple of penalties but played a pretty good game on him. But Tampa Bay was statistically 2019's best run defense in the NFL, and they also had the sack leader in Shaquille Barrett with 19.5 last year. So eyes on the Bucs defense as well as their offense and seeing how they would do today. Starts out Bucs corner Sean Murphy bunting all over the field, making plays to start the game. When you look at this Tampa Bay Bucs defense, how good do you think they can be? Can this be the best defense in football, or do you think they're still young and have some holes?
I think they had some holes, and they let Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara
Yep.
expose those holes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the best defense in the league is that Pittsburgh defense. But
Oh,
anyways,
that's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
they definitely exposed them, and they got some work to do on that defense because if Drew Brees can do that to them,
Mm-hmm.
then it's hard telling what other people in the league are going to be able to do to them.
Yeah, and Sean Payton's such a creative play caller. An offensive coordinator, head coach. He's going to make it difficult on any defense. Um, what do you think of Todd Bowles? If you remember, Todd Bowles was the Jets head coach for a while. Some are calling him one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. You think he can turn this Bucs defense around and get them playing better?
Yes, I do. Todd Bowles is known for his defense, and
Uh-huh.
um, he can coach any team up. So I think give it about week 3, week 4, we'll start to see the whole team of Tampa Bay coming along.
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the Bucs aren't going to be as good as we thought." And it's like, come on, guys, let's give this team a couple weeks. You're talking about a Saints team that has that ultimate chemistry. Their core has played together for years and years. Tampa Bay, all new, Brady, new quarterback, Brady dealing with a new system, new weapons. It's like a lot of talent just thrown together, and it's going to take a couple weeks for everything to get going smoothly.
I
It's a
do
good
have to
point.
say
Yeah.
I'm the biggest Brady person who dislikes him,
Uh
but
huh.
Bruce Arian blaming that game on Tom Brady was just not right.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I understand he, be like strict, no nonsense, don't baby the veteran, 6-time Super Bowl champ quarterback, treat him like everybody else. But there was a lot of issues, mainly penalties and stupid plays like that hurt this team more than Brady's play, I think.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and yeah, let's give him a couple weeks to work it out.
and I believe they will because if they don't, in order to make it to the Super Bowl, they're gonna have to go through New Orleans, and New Orleans looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, yep. It's going to be a great season to see who comes out of that division, out of the NFC South. Now, yeah, Sean Murphy bunting, an up and coming corner, all over the field to start the game. Tampa Bay's defense forces the Saints offense to go 3-and-out on their first possession. Something that struck my eye. I mean, Brady's been around forever, but look at that 20 as years played next to him, playing in his 21st career NFL season. Is Brady ever going to slow down? Is Father Time ever going to catch up to Tom Brady, or is he going to keep slinging it all over the field?
Man, at this point, I think Brady's gonna play till the day he passes away.
Seriously, he's going to be like 80 out there with a walker.
He's gonna, but I mean, he's in good shape. He keeps himself healthy and everything, and
Yeah,
stays injury free. So as long as his body lets him play, I feel Tom Brady's gonna play.
absolutely. I like to see it too. No need to retire. If you can still do it, keep doing it. Now Brady takes a deep shot. Now his first pass is a 29-yard catch to Chris Godwin, perfectly thrown ball by Brady. He takes another deep shot on third down to Mike Evans. It's incomplete, but pass interference is called on Marshawn Lattimore, and the ball goes from the Saints 38 down to the Saints 17-yard line. Brady's. How much money did you have on this? Brady's first touchdown as a Buck being a quarterback dive instead of a pass.
Oh, not very much, man. I honestly thought Brady's first touchdown pass was gonna be a speed out to Gronkowski in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, we've seen it so many times, so you would think that'd be the go-to, but no, the Saints don't, have a guy there in the middle. Brady recognizes it, dives in for a touchdown. 7-0 Bucks. Um, Sean Murphy Bunting continuing to make plays, tackles Saints tight end Jared Cook, short of the first down, forcing another Saints 3-and-out. So the Saints starting out slow offensively. Bucs go 3-and-out. Drew Brees on 3rd and 8 throws a 19-yard touchdown pass or a 19-yard pass to Jared Cook for the first Saints first down of the game. How do you feel about Taysom Hill? He comes in to start the second quarter and rushes for 13 yards. You know, Taysom has the ability to catch, run, block, throw. He can do it all. And really a pretty good arm for a guy that can do all that. You could bring him in at the same time as Breeze and, like, have Breeze give it to Hill and then still throw it. It's pretty hard to stop a team with pretty much like two quarterbacks on the field at once.
Yeah, as we all know, Taysom Hill is the jack of all trades. I mean, the guy has incredible talents, but he's one of those one of those people that if you're struggling and you need momentum, he's gonna make a play and bring the momentum back on your side.
Yeah, yeah. So, there's been a lot of debate about whether Taysom Hill can be your every down franchise quarterback. That I don't know, but he fits the role that Sean Payton's using him in perfectly. So,
And
um,
in my opinion, I feel like he should stay in that spot because he's
yeah,
just
he's perfect for that role. No need to ruin a good thing, pretty much.
yep.
Um, so Alvin Kamara just got paid before the season started. He has a pretty good game in this one. Scores the first Saints touchdown on a 12-yard pass from Breeze. Some people were, thinking that Kamara wasn't the same anymore, and was never going to be the weapon that he was before. Did you buy into that, or do you think Kamara just needs to be healthy and he can be the same, deadly weapon for the Saints?
I've always been a Alvin Kamara believer, man, and I mean, obviously, if you're healthy and can play 16, 17 games in the regular season, then you can always be a threat, especially somebody of his caliber.
Yeah, I agree absolutely. Um, Now, then Brady started the game 3 for 3, is intercepted by Saints safety Marcus Williams, miscommunication on a route with Mike Evans. I mean, we said this was going to happen. Some miscommunication, some not on the same page with his new targets. And you see that pretty early in this one with Brady and Mike Evans. Did you think that was a miscommunication or just a bad throw on Brady's part?
I'm going to go with the bad throw on
Oh,
Brady's
okay.
part.
Yeah.
He looked. I mean, if you watched throughout the game, Brady looked very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Saints pass rush was doing a pretty good job of putting pressure on him and making him move around the pocket. And then, yeah, I think he's still getting used to the new weapons. But a big play by Marcus Williams to intercept that. Breeze throws deep to Emmanuel Sanders. Pass interference called on Sean Murphy Bunting. Looked like they got the wrong number because Jordan Whitehead had a hold of Sanders' jersey. I think pass interference was the correct call, and a 33-yard penalty resulting in 1st and goal from the Bucs 6-yard line. Dustin, I'm interested in your take on this. I know you watch a lot of college football. There's been some talk about pass interference in the NFL being spot of the ball is too harsh of a penalty. You see like 30, 40, 50-yard penalties on these deep pass interference calls. Would you be in favor of the NFL going to the 15-yard pass interference rule like in college?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that ruin teams' shots at going to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and it most definitely is not fair to these
Yeah,
players, man.
and with recent history of pass interference being such a subjective call, a tough call, and it could go either way. Don't we think that the NFL should adjust and make it not so harsh of a penalty on the defense? I mean, I think it's common sense. What do you think?
Yeah, and I mean, they should look both ways because if you see now more as we keep going, there's more and more offensive pass interferences that don't get called.
Absolutely. We had some games, ended games altered by offensive pass interference, multiple games this week. Whether we're talking AJ Green or who was the Cowboys one? I know it was on Jalen Ramsey. Was that Gallup?
Yep,
Cowboys
and
Rams.
I have to say, man, that one was very, very questionable. I don't think that was a pass interference.
Yeah, see, my thing has always been if you're gonna I've never cared that they allowed the offensive player to make contact and push off a little bit. My issue has always been that they don't allow the defensive player to have any contact. Um, you know, I'm much more on the side of let the wide receiver and corner battle it out. And as long as it's not egregious, let them decide who catches the ball. Stop throwing flags for, little bumps here or there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I
So,
agree.
yeah, we'll see what the NFL does going forward, but that's something I would like to see. Another touchdown by Alvin Kamara takes the Saints to a 14-7 lead. So Kamara had 2 touchdowns early in this game. One of our matchups to watch, Mike Evans against Marshawn Lattimore. They get into a fight. Lattimore shoves Evans, who retaliates by ripping Lattimore's helmet off. Lattimore is called for unnecessary roughness, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. What do you think of this? I think it could have easily gone against Mike Evans.
Yeah, I really didn't see that play. So
Yeah. Well, so you know how in the NFL they always seem to the retaliator always seems to get the flag, not the instigator. That's how it's been for forever. And now you're seeing, at least in this situation, the instigator get the penalty for a much less egregious play. Mike Evans pretty much drags the guy's helmet off and doesn't get a flag for it. I thought, if anything, it should have been flags on each player.
most definitely, and we even seen that last year with Myles Garrett and Rudolph. I mean, it's
Yep. Luckily this time Michael Thomas didn't try to beat him over the head with his helmet. So that's a positive.
yeah, most definitely. But yeah, it should go both ways, just like the pass interference.
Yeah. I just wish, the NFL officiating would start taking a little bit of from the defensive perspective instead of always looking at it from the offensive perspective. Tom Brady sacked on 3rd and 13 by Saints defensive end Trey Hendrickson for a loss of 4 yards. So the Bucs would have to settle for a 54-yard field goal attempt by kicker Ryan Suckup, who is blocked. The kick is blocked by defensive end Margus Hunt. The Bucs, since 2009, have the lowest field goal kicking percentage in the NFL at just 77%. Does that stat surprise you? And do you think Ryan Suckup is going to help that or continue to lower that percentage of field goals for Tampa Bay?
I mean, Suckup is a good kicker, and he's going to get better over time. Everybody gets blocked. But, yeah, that does surprise me about that stat. I mean,
they haven't had a kicker in a while.
Ryan Suckup always ruined my hopes and dreams in Tennessee. So.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I'm not a big Ryan Suckup fan. I think that, I don't know, maybe he's better than I give him credit for. I just don't think he's that good. But you would know better than I, being from that division. And then, Tampa Bay, it seems like they haven't been able to find a kicker since going back to Martin Gramatica.
Oh, yeah. I remember him.
They thought they had one in Roberto Aguayo, but that didn't work out too much. The Saints line up for it on 4th and 2 from the 47-yard line. Breeze hard counts and gets defensive tackle Vita Vea to jump off sides. 1st and 10 Saints, killer penalty on 4th and 2. How much, you and me see it all the time when the offense does that hard count in a crucial spot and the defense jumps off sides. Those are killer penalties.
Yeah, it's especially when you have someone who's experienced with the cadence.
Yeah.
I've seen all of week 1 where there was quarterbacks that were good with the cadence, getting people to jump in very important spots in the games.
Yeah, it's an underrated part of the game when you got a quarterback that's good at that. Breeze screen pass to Deontay Harris goes 17 yards. Will Lutz kicks a 29-yard field goal. And the Saints up 17-7 going into halftime. Good job by the Bucs defense to hold them to 3 here, but not great. Tom Brady pissed off to end the first half, yelling at officials over not throwing a flag to Chris Godwin on a pass to Chris Godwin. Frustrating first half for Brady and the Bucs, and 17-7 Saints lead at halftime. What do you think? I mean, at halftime, do you think the Bucs, could adjust and still win this game, or do you think Saints were going to run away at that point?
I had figured that the Bucs would have came out and made it a game.
Yeah, right off the bat.
But the Saints had, too much momentum, and Drew Brees was on fire, and that defense, man, that defense is nice.
Yeah, and they were getting, like I said, getting pressure on the quarterback all day. I thought we would see a little bit more out of Leonard Fournette in this game. Ronald Jones had a decent one, but Fournette, not too impactful. Did that surprise you?
It did. Again, being in a new position, learning a new playbook.
Yeah.
I'd give him more time, and then he'll start to come along.
Yeah, I think the key for Fournette and even Shady McCoy is the regular season is fine, do what they can do. But the hope is to get to the playoffs and have those guys going full strength in January. Pass intended from Brady to Justin Watson is intercepted by Saints quarterback Janoris Jenkins and returned 32 yards for a touchdown. So the Saints go up 24-7 just like that. Brady picks 6. Troy Aikman says on the call the pass was behind the receiver on an outside breaking route. He says, cardinal rule, behind an outside breaking route is usually picked off. For you, when you saw this, is this a product more so of unfamiliarity with the receivers, or is this starting to show the age at 43 years old? What do you think on this pick 6? A rare Tom Brady pick 6.
Honestly, man, it seems like it's just the bad luck of the head coach Bruce Arians. I mean, when he was in Indianapolis, Andrew Luck had his highest interceptions.
Yeah.
When he was in Arizona, Carson Palmer threw his most interceptions in his career, and obviously Jameis Winston. So I'm gonna lean more on the superstitious side of that. Maybe it's just Bruce Arians.
Maybe it's that offensive system. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird to see Brady throwing a pick 6 like that, and especially when you're already down 10. So just like that, they're down 17. Brady deep pass to Mike Evans goes incomplete, but Marcus Williams called for pass interference. So the Bucs get a 45-yard penalty just like that and get in the field goal range. Ronald Jones, 21-yard run down the Saints 9. Looking at that loaded Bucs running back room with Fournette, with Shady McCoy, and Ronald Jones. Jones was getting the most of his carries. Do you think that Ronald Jones is the best running back in that room, at least for now?
At the moment, yes, and he should be getting most of the load because, I mean, he's been there. He's the one who's been there the longest.
Yeah. He knows the offense the most, and he's a decent running back. He really is.
And I just have to say, man, when you mentioned 45 yards on that pass interference, thinking about it again, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree with that because, it's one penalty, and it can be like half the field.
It basically robs the team. I mean,
but are you worried about this at all? You see it in college football too. A guy gets beat, and because he's getting beat and he doesn't want to get up to play, he grabs him and gets a penalty right there. Do you think we'll see an uptick in 15-yard pass interference penalties if that's the case?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So it's a fine line, but I think at the same time, for a defender, you would rather eat that 15-yard penalty than be exposed for a 50-yard touchdown or something like that. So we'll see if that ever gets changed. I like that you agree with that, and something I've been thinking about for a while. Um, Brady 9-yard touchdown pass to a wide open O.J. Howard in the end zone, 24-14. First touchdown as a Buck, or first touchdown pass as a Buck for Tom Brady to O.J. Howard. I think the Brady O.J. Howard is going to be a lethal combination this year. Do you think so?
Yeah, he's gonna fly under the radar. Everybody's expecting it to be all about Gronkowski, but Brady has used other tight ends in the past as his go-to people.
And O.J. Howard is talented as hell. I mean, let's go back to when O.J. Howard was getting drafted out of Alabama. To think about where he was then, and to now say that he's a number 2 tight end potentially with Gronk, that's pretty impressive. It's
Yeah,
a lot of talent.
yeah, and it's I just hope that they have all this talent and don't turn up like the Cleveland Browns, which I don't think they will.
Yeah, do you remember the Eagles a while back, the Philadelphia Eagles, when they loaded up and said they were like I think they called themselves like the Miami Heat or something, and then didn't even make the playoffs that year. It
Yeah,
happens. Yeah, it happens when you load up with all that talent and then it doesn't work out for whatever reason. I think Tampa Bay will figure it out. A Breeze pass intended for Emmanuel Sanders is deflected by Carlton Davis and intercepted by Sean Murphy Bunting. However, a flag is thrown on the play. Pass interference on Carlton Davis for grabbing Sanders while he dove to deflect the pass. Good call, I think. And Carlton Davis is a guy that I've got my eye on, one of the best corners in the league, but he gave up some penalties in this game at least.
I mean, yeah, it seems like there was pass interference almost every other play in this game.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of that, I mean, some of it is, what can you do on the deep pass like that? But the Bucs seemed pretty undisciplined in this game. A lot of stupid penalties, a lot of dumb mental mistakes for Tampa Bay.
And again, that's what you get from a Bruce Arians type team, man.
Yeah. We'll see if they can figure it out and turn things around and get running better later in the year. On 3rd and 6, Drew Brees is sacked by Jason Pierre-Paul for a loss of 10 yards, the only Bucs sack of the game. When you think about they got the sack leader in Shaq Barrett, if they've got a healthy Jason Pierre-Paul as well, that could be a pretty nasty 1-2 punch in the pass rush for Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah. I definitely remember JPP back when he was with the Giants, man, and he was a dog then.
Yeah. He's still pretty effective 2.5 fingers later.
Yeah.
sorry, JPP, I had to go there. But it's facts. 3rd and 1, Brady throws a 23-yard pass to Chris Godwin for a first down. Let me ask you this. Have you heard of wide receiver for the Bucs, Scotty Miller, before this game?
I actually have not.
Me neither. But he seems to be a Brady favorite early on. You know how Brady likes those little white slot receivers, whether it's Wes Welker or Julian Edelman. Scotty Miller seems to be the next guy. And he was pretty impactful in this one.
Yeah, and Brady can turn a nobody into a somebody, so.
Yep. It was pass interference on Patrick Robinson, 28-yard penalty. Another, 28, almost 30-yard penalty because of the pass interference. Ryan Suckup hits a 38-yarder to cut the Saints' lead down to 7, 24-17. And then the Bucs force a 3 and out to end the third quarter. So going into the fourth quarter, only down 7, the Bucs seem to have some momentum and trying to, get back into this one. But on 3rd and 4, Saints, Demario Davis gets a sack on Brady, forcing another punt. For as much as they were talking about the Bucs having a pretty good offensive line, I thought their O-line got a little bit exposed in this game. Brady was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that O-line looked like they were rookies out there playing, but you can't take that away from the Saints having a better defense.
Yeah, they were working hard, that pass rush. The front four, they were getting there. They had pressure on them, so credit to the Saints. Breeze 46-yard pass to tight end Jared Cook into the red zone, and then a 5-yard touchdown pass to Emmanuel Sanders to extend their lead as 31-17. First time we brought up Emmanuel Sanders, he was so good in Denver. He was so instrumental in the 49ers run to the Super Bowl last year. How impactful do you think Emmanuel Sanders will be on the Saints offense the further we go into the season?
Oh man, that's gonna be just like what's going on in Arizona, man. That's gonna be an unstoppable wide receiver duo.
Yeah. Michael
I mean,
Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, Alvin Kamara out of the backfield with a lot of weapons.
that's almost not fair.
And don't forget about Traquan Smith. I'm a big fan of his as well, like the third receiver. Um, what do you think of this play? This was interesting. The Saints, because of a penalty on a touchdown, 15-yard penalty, the Saints kick off from the 50. So they use a holder like it's a field goal. I got a guy with his finger on the ball. The Saints kick it and kind of pop it up. They kick it way high up into the air. For whatever reason, this confuses the Bucs. Two players run into each other trying to catch the ball. It's fumbled, and the Saints recover the kickoff. What the hell is Tampa Bay doing here?
Yeah, I think that was probably done purposely.
Yeah, it was a pretty smart move by the Saints, but Tampa Bay, come on now, you can't cover a kick.
Like like we said throughout this whole show, man,
Yeah,
the chemistry is off. It seems like with a lot of these players.
yeah, and it'll
And
get. Yeah, go ahead.
this quarantine and them not being able to communicate with each other only through Zoom and all
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. It's tough. It's gonna take, like I said, 3-4 weeks to be able to get back to the football fundamentals.
yeah. And that's a good point. Which wouldn't surprise me if the Bucs struggle a little bit here off the bat, and maybe their record isn't where they want it to be come week 5 or 6. But then they, hopefully for them, they get on a roll later in the year and ride momentum into the playoffs. So, but yeah, lots of mental mistakes by Tampa Bay in week 1, and that right there, you know, you give up a touchdown, now you're down 14, then you do that on the kickoff, you're just burying yourself at that point. Will
Yeah,
Lutz, Will Lutz hits a 21-yarder, and the Saints go up 34-17, and you're starting to feel it then. Bucs offense goes 3-and-out. Saints go 3-and-out. 37-yard pass from Brady to Scotty Miller gets him in the field goal range. Then a 2-yard touchdown pass to Mike Evans, who makes a great toe drag catch in the end zone. 2-point conversion, no good, so it's 34-23. Did you see this Mike Evans touchdown catch? It's a pretty good catch.
yeah, it was nice. I believe I did catch that, and but Mike Evans didn't produce much in this game, which surprised me.
Yeah, but he did come in questionable with that hamstring. So that leads me to believe that the hamstring was pretty bad. Like you said, he didn't do much. That touchdown right there is his only catch of the game. 1 catch for 2 yards and a touchdown. So
At
I
least he
think
got the
that,
TD. So
yeah, I think that hurt the Bucs as well, not having a healthy Mike Evans.
yeah, because he's the leader of all those receivers and
Yeah,
probably a top 5 receiver in the league.
absolutely. So 34-23. I don't know why the Bucs were going for 2 there. I mean, it seems kind of silly. Just kick the extra point, and it goes to my point of how hard 2-point conversions are to convert, and that's why I'm not a fan of going for them all the time.
Yeah, they're harder, believe it or not, than kicking that extra point farther away.
Yeah, and I just feel like to put so much on one play. Like I understand if it's first and goal from the 2 and you've got 4 attempts at it, but when it's 1 attempt and 2 points at stake, I like the higher percentage. I like the kick, and unless you have a shitty kicker, I'm gonna kick it almost every time. Then I mean the game's pretty much out of reach. It's 34-23, and Sean Payton's not done calling trick plays as he has a backwards pass from Breeze to Taysom Hill, and then Taysom Hill throws it 38 yards down to Alvin Kamara to the Bucs 8-yard line. I mean, like I said, when you got Breeze and Taysom back there, there's so many different ways they can attack the defense. It's crazy.
And that play was like perfectly executed.
Yeah.
But
And,
I also think that was Sean Payton kind of putting the foot on the throat of Bruce Arians, saying, "Hey, we're the alpha dogs in this division."
yeah, you gotta get on our level. It did seem like a little bit of a statement right there. And is there, in your opinion, is there anybody better at drawing up trick plays than Sean Payton seems to be? I mean, he's like the king at it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy how underrated he is. You know.
Yeah. Well, a couple more Super Bowls down the road. We'll see what he does with the next quarterback because he's got a lot of love after what he did for Teddy Bridgewater last year, what he's done for Drew Brees' career, what he's doing with Taysom Hill. It'll be interesting to see how Sean Payton does with a new franchise quarterback, whether that be Taysom Hill, maybe Jameis Winston in a year or two. We'll see what happens in New Orleans.
Yeah, I probably would never start Jameis Winston again. That's just my opinion, man. He's
Well,
terrible.
okay. But let me ask you this: who do you trust more, Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, or do you think they need to go get a quarterback elsewhere?
Right now, at the moment, I would say let Taysom Hill show you what
What he
he can do,
what he can do, yeah. Try it
and
out for a
then
year.
if that doesn't work, do what any other NFL team does.
Draft.
Go out and draft your who you believe is going to be your franchise quarterback.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, obviously after Bruce retires. We're not saying do that now, Saints fans. Don't kill us in the comments.
And yeah,
Um,
and I mean, obviously those are going to be some pretty big boots to fill.
absolutely, yeah. So big Saints win at home week one, 34-23 over their biggest rival in the division, at least this year, for who's going to bring it home. So statement win, they get out to 1-0. Looking at the stats, I mean, so did you pick the Saints to win this game, and were you surprised at all by the outcome?
I actually was picking Tampa Bay
Okay.
just because I figured, in primetime games like that, Brady usually plays well. But I have to be honest, I was surprised by Brady's performance, man.
Yeah, you were surprised by the lack of success he had.
Yeah, because I mean, when they scored the first touchdown, I was like, okay, this is going to be a good game, and it's going to be one of those, games of the year, games, of the week, and
Yeah,
then Brady just started throwing picks, but man, he was under duress so much it wasn't even funny.
yeah. I mean, I did expect a better game than this. It was kind of anticlimactic, but like we said, this Bucks team is going to take some patience. So we'll see how they look a couple weeks from now. But a good Saints win to start the year. I had picked the Saints in this one just because of that factor of thinking that it was going to take a little bit for the Bucks to get their chemistry going. So no need to, Brady's not done. The Bucks aren't going to miss the playoffs. I don't think. Let's just have some patience with this team. Looking at stats, I mean, Drew Brees only throws for 160 yards, but 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Pretty good game for him. Alvin Kamara, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. Michael Thomas held to just 3 catches for 17 yards. I mean, I've been hyping up Carlton Davis, a decent amount of penalties against him, but overall, 3 catches for 17 yards. He could be happy with that job on Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I take this game as pretty much on the offensive side. It was pretty much Alvin Kamara. I mean,
Yeah,
he did most of the production.
yeah, he really did. And then Janoris Jenkins, I mean, with that pick six, that was a big pick six in this game. It really pulled the Saints away.
Yeah, it was thing, and that's crazy because that would have been Brady's second pick six in a row. Because if you remember, the AFC Championship game ended with a pick six.
The last year that was against the Titans in the wild card round.
Yep, and it ended with a pick six.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that. Yeah, Brady doesn't want you to bring up that stat.
Yeah, sorry, Tom, but
Will Lutz, 2 for 2 field goals, 4 for 4 extra points. A lot of times you can take that for granted, but with the way kicking looked week one, you either have a kicker in this league or you don't at this point.
yeah, I mean, you've seen from last night what Gostowski did, man. He
Oh
had a
my
terrible
God.
night.
Yeah. And then redeemed himself, though, at the very end.
Yeah, and same thing happened with my Colts team, man. We
Yeah.
we miss an extra point. We get one hit off the side crossbar. I mean, it's just kicking these days is not guaranteed anymore.
Yeah. Absolutely. You never know. I mean, my Bears are rocking with Cairo Santos right now, and Santos had an over 4 game last year, so you never know with these kickers.
I
It's
mean,
yeah.
it's not as simple no more, with the Sebastian Janikowski and
Yep.
the Mike
Uh,
Vanderjacks and Adam Vinatieri's,
yep.
Robbie Golds.
Yeah.
We
When we
probably
got
won't
rid of
see that
Robbie
no more.
Gould, huh? We've been great at kicking ever since then. But
Yep.
anyways. Tom Brady, 3 touchdowns, 2 pass, 1 rush, 2 interceptions, and Brady becomes the oldest player in NFL history to score a touchdown at 43 years old. Mike Evans held to just 1 catch for 2 yards and a touchdown. Jason Pierre-Paul recorded the only Bucs sack. Ryan Suckup, 1 for 2 field goals, 2 for 2 extra points. The Bucs fall to 0-1, but will host the Carolina Panthers in Week 2. I fully expect the Bucs to get back to 1-1. Do you think they'll beat Carolina next week?
Yeah, because Carolina is a team that is rebuilding under Matt Rule, so
Yeah.
I think the talent will just end up being too much at the end of the day. What what are they saying is the injury update on Mike Evans? Is he going to be a full go? Is he going to be healthy or what?
I mean, it's a hamstring. Those can linger, but I expect him on the field week 2. I think that he'll rest it, not practice this week, probably just rest it, and will hopefully be a better and, able to be used more in week 2, more than just 1 catch.
And I think that this may just be my opinion, and I thought deep about this, but I think OJ Howard should get
Uh-huh.
more playing time than
Yeah.
Gronk because I think the only reason why Gronk is even playing football is because Tom Brady asked him to.
Yeah. And the only thing Gronk cares about is that championship.
Does he even really want to be out there? I mean, let's be honest.
I think he's going to be used sparingly. He's going to, they're not going to throw the ball to him a lot. He'll be used more as a blocker. And yeah, I agree. OJ Howard's going to get a lot more of the production until, Gronk's there just as a throw-in, I think, because OJ Howard is a starting tight end. Gronk's there for like the NFC Championship game in 2020, making 1 big catch to win the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's there for the 50-50 balls.
Yeah. So I agree with that. Looking at the Saints, they start out the year 1-0. They'll be playing on Monday Night Football at what's the name of that? Allegiant Stadium? Is that what it is? The new stadium for the Las Vegas Raiders?
Yes, and that stadium is, man, it's
It's
state of the
it's,
art.
it's mean looking, all black. It looks like the Dark Star.
Yeah, but I mean, again, in this that
The
game
Death
really,
Star.
that game against Tampa Bay really showed how good the New Orleans Saints are.
Yeah, they're very explosive offensively. And as long as Sean Payton is the head coach, the play caller with all those weapons, they're going to be tough to beat.
I mean, Drew Brees is a miracle in Minneapolis away from a Super Bowl and a ring, a bad pass interference call from a Super Bowl and a possible ring. I mean, they just
had things not really go their way for whatever reason. Yeah. I mean, even last year, you look at that Kyle Rudolph game-winning touchdown catch in the Vikings Saints, and Saints fans are like, he pushed off. So they're not happy with officiating in recent years. They've had a team talented enough to win the whole thing, just hasn't gone their way.
I just want to see Drew go out with one because he definitely deserves it. And it's like the football gods just don't want Brees to win one.
Yeah. We'll see. As long as they're talented enough, you never know what can happen. So maybe this will be the year. In week 2, they'll be playing Monday Night Football against the 1-0 Raiders. Do you think the Raiders win in their home opener, or do you see the Saints going into Vegas and stealing a win?
The Raiders definitely surprised me in week 1, but I'm going to go with the Saints. I think they go undefeated for a while.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Bucs win over Panthers and Saints go into Vegas and steal one against the Raiders. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Hell of a week 1. And week 2 should be just as much fun. Thanks for coming on, Dustin. Great insight as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay tuned. We're going to have more, these kind of episodes all season long. And coming up, we're going to have some former players, former NFL head coaches, some media to come on here and break these games down with us. So stay tuned. It's going to be a hell of a year. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.